Well, hi everyone, and welcome again to this week's edition of Feeling Smarter. As always, I'm joined by Tim Miller. G'day, Tim. How are you?
Yeah, going pretty well, Aaron. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. Well, as we sort of march towards our pensions masterclass to be held on the 27th of August, we're going to keep on our theme of pensions. And one of the areas, Tim, that probably doesn't get the same amount of attention as it has historically is transition to retirement income streams. And maybe the first question to you is why do we think that's the case? And off the back of that, why do we take a different view now, and why there's all, wouldn't necessarily call it a reinvention, but getting people thinking about the strategies that you can really wrap around transition to retirement?
Yeah, so why do we think they weren't popular, or why do we think they are popular?
Well, I guess what changed in the landscape, and
Yeah,
then why are we kind of revisiting them again now?
yeah, no, very good, very good. Look, it's an interesting area, and this whole transition to retirement income stream, and it's been, I guess it's had its moments of popularity since its introduction back in roughly, let's say, 2006, for want of a better time frame, but roughly around that time. I guess the significance is that in 2017 they took a hit because they lost their exempt current pension income deduction link. They had I guess a slight offset to that, which was that they weren't counted towards an individual's transfer balance cap if you commenced it. And of course, the tax office or the regulator, in line with Treasury, created a lot of confusion around the same time by creating concepts such as a transition to retirement income stream and then a transition to retirement in retirement, which of course is a counterintuitive kind of concept that you're transitioning to retirement once you're in retirement. And so they lost their popularity as such because largely that exempt current pension income. But of course, what we've seen now is with the evolution of preservation age hitting 60 and that old super system where anyone over the age of 60 who receives income receives it as non-assessable, non-exempt income. It now is the marrying together of the access capacity, so the ability to access your money from age 60 because you've reached age 60, along with that income then being tax exempt in your own hands. So yes, we still have the issue of no exempt current pension income deduction for the fund, but for the individual, it is I guess a more palatable outcome where you are ultimately receiving income, albeit funded by yourself or from your superannuation, but in a non-tax environment.
Yeah, so the tax arbitrage, effectively, we were saying was the huge advantage to transition to retirement income strategies some time ago. So, but the arbitrage was gained both on the individual through salary sacrifice, and then it was given on the other side around earnings tax exemption within the fund.
Yeah.
So as you touched on, from 2017, we saw the removal of that tax exemption, noting though that there will still be certain clients that might have a CGT reset from 2017 off the back of that, to always kind of keep in the back of the memory there,
Yeah.
as part of complying with the transfer balance cap. But the decline in the contribution caps over that period of time as well sort of almost sounded the death knell for transition to retirement. But I think, as you've rightly sort of stated there are two levers that have happened in more recent times that enable transition to retirement to be an effective strategy from an income tax perspective. So one is the fact that from the 1st of July 2024, that preservation age is 60, so it's non-assessable. And you couple that with the stage 3 tax cuts that we've seen at that time, that puts a little bit more money in the pocket of the individual. But I think the other opportunity that comes off the back of that is then the fact that it doesn't apply for everyone, but there is an unused cap of concessional contributions that is also available, that then gives the opportunity for people to contemplate this strategy and therefore get the tax advantage of combining all those things together.
Yeah, and I think that's probably, and then to take it to a different level of client as well, because I think there's also, remember that that level of client where a transition to retirement is actually used for its intended purpose, which is to supplement their income on their way through to retirement. But also then this additional new client base, which is those that are able to either make large non-concessional contributions or those that are eligible for the downsizer contribution. Of course, that's quite significant with downsizer coming back to 55, means that it fits in with the preservation age style contribution, where we can actually look now from age 60 to, and I use the word segregate in purely a strategic point of view rather than a tax point of view, but we can look to segregate our tax-free and taxable monies by starting separate income streams. So the capacity potentially for someone with a large taxable component in their fund to commence a transition to retirement income stream, and then shortly afterwards make non-concessional contributions or make downsize contribution and lock that away in an income stream, and then potentially even unwind the taxable one. There's all sorts of strategic advantages to utilising a TRIS from age 60 as well.
Yeah, and we have spoken a lot about the length of time that the new laws to contribute allow us to combine pension and accumulation. But I think, and as you've rightly touched on there, it's the ability to not only look forward, but potentially take ourselves back into what is genuinely a transitioning period of life. Because yes, we are finding people working much longer periods of time, but at the same time, we also have the opportunity to say to ourselves, well, yeah, if we are going to be making that downsizer contribution, or we are going to be making contributions into the fund, are there some strategic planning opportunities around the structuring of those income streams to make them more, and I guess the tax effectiveness has disappeared because of the preservation issue, but make them far more strategically advantageous from an estate planning point of view as well.
Yeah, that's right. And I think, you and I often speak about that, and that is that whilst every decision made from a super fund point of view has that sole purpose sort of trigger point as to why we're making this or why we're undertaking this event as such, one of those things is to provide benefits for our beneficiaries prior to retiring. And so again, from a point of view of commencing pensions and potentially making them reversionary and all those sorts of things prior to age 65, it's all implicitly linked together. And estate planning, obviously, despite it not being the purpose of superannuation, it is genuinely the primary purpose of superannuation, is to make sure that we're planning not only for ourselves but also for our beneficiaries.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, TRIS is going to be one of the areas that both Tim and I are going to be deep diving into, in particular using our case study of the Little Brewers Super Fund and our Malthouse family. So once again, if you want to find out more about some of these ideas, strategies that you can employ with your clients that are eligible for transition to retirement income streams, come along and join us on the 27th of August. That is a Tuesday. Tim and I will be together. So we'll be able to sort of elbow and whack each other like we normally do in these sessions when we're there together live. We look forward to seeing you then. Thanks again, Tim.
No worries, Aaron. I look forward to speaking with you next week.
Have a great day, everyone, and bye for now.
Bye.